After 6 members of our great military passed overseas in the line of duty, Gavin Newsom is using it to attack the president to gain political points because he wants to run for president in 2028. Not only that, he's attacking the president over the economy, over gas prices with completely false statements. Welcome, my name is Shane, and if you want daily factual reporting with evidence, without bias, please consider subscribing. Let us get into it, starting with this video of Gavin Newsom politicizing the death of our service members.
4 service members died today, and Donald Trump spent more time talking about his ballroom than he did about the loss of those lives. Review the tape. Spend more time talking about the curtains and his ballroom than he did the 4 service members that died because of his operation in his declaration of war without congressional consent. He still has not articulated clear vision of what the end game is, period, full stop. There's no War Powers Act that's been exercised. I'm glad Congress is doing its job this week.
So this right here is despicable. It is disgusting because service members, they sign up because they love their country. They go overseas to fight because they love their country. And as someone that served 10 years in the military, I am appalled by the statement by Gavin Newsom, because the last thing that families want and service members want after they die is for politicians to politicize their death. And that is exactly what Gavin Newsom is doing right here. This is literally to gain political points because he wants to run for president in 2028. And the reason why he said this, he's trying to paint the narrative that the president doesn't care about our service members, doesn't care about the death of these service members. And I have a video right here to show you that after these service members passed, the president actually came out and gave his condolences to the families. Take a look.
Earlier today, CENTCOM shared the news that 3 U.S. military service members have been killed in action. As one nation, we grieve for the true American patriots who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our nation, even as we continue the righteous mission for which they gave their lives. We pray for the full recovery of the wounded and send our immense love and eternal gratitude to the families of the fallen. And sadly, there will likely be more. Before it ends, that's the way it is. Likely be more, but we'll do everything possible where that won't be the case.
So that was the president immediately after the 3 initial service members that died. The president came out and he gave his condolences. And he said he's going to do everything he can to prevent more service members from dying. But unfortunately, this is war and people are going to die. And the same press conference that Gavin Newsom is talking about where the president didn't recognize these service members is a complete lie. Because I have the video right here where the president actually recognized the death of these service members. Take a look.
Today, we grieve for the 4 heroic American service members who have been killed in action and send our love and support to their families. In their memory, we continue this mission with ferocious, unyielding resolve to crush the threat this terrorist regime poses to the American people, and a threat indeed it is. We have the strongest and most powerful by far military in the world, and we will easily prevail.
So as I mentioned before, the last thing that service members want is for politicians to go out there and politicize their death. And this tells you a lot about a politician if they're willing to go that low. This tells you a lot about their character to score cheap political points. Think of the war as you may. You may agree with it, you may disagree with it. But the last thing that we want, the last thing that service members want is for a politician to go up there and use their death to score political points because they want to become president in 2028. I think that is disgusting. And in that same press conference, Gavin Newsom went on to criticize the president about gas prices. Take a look.
Energy prices are up across the globe. Oil prices are up. Gas prices are going up. Every $10 increase in a barrel is roughly 24 cents per gallon that you'll be paying more because of Trump's war. Unfunded war, as he's cutting food stamps because he says he can't find money, as he's cutting taxes to the...
While this is not a completely inaccurate statement, because with any geopolitical event like the attack on Iran, what you're going to have oil markets reacting negatively. And what Gavin Newsom is doing, he's trying to paint the picture that the president is deliberately sending oil prices through the roof when we know that is completely false. Because with drill baby drill and actions that we have seen in Venezuela is only to bring gas prices down. And we have Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who actually confirmed that the Trump administration, they have a deliberate plan to bring oil prices down. Take a look.
President Rubio, what's your message to Americans who are concerned about rising energy prices given the spiking of oil prices today?
Yes, and we knew that going in would be a factor, and so we have a program in place that will begin to be implemented by Secretary Wright, Secretary Bessent. We talked about it last night, again, about this program. We talked this morning, and starting tomorrow, you will see us rolling out those phases to try to mitigate against that. Obviously, markets are going to be reacting to news about what's happening. And again, a reminder, think about it, okay? This terroristic regime, led by radical clerics, has the ability, potentially, to shut off 20% of global energy. That's the kind of leverage they have because of their Navy. We're going to destroy their Navy. But there is a plan in place. We anticipated this could be an issue.
So the administration has a deliberate plan, and they are working to bring gas prices down. And we know that gas prices is at a record low, except for one state, and that is California, the same state that Gavin Newsom is in charge of. And we have an article here that outlines highest and lowest gas prices by state. California keeps the top spot. And the article goes on to say California now takes the top spot with a gallon of gas costing $4.59. And that is the average. And let me tell you, I do live in California, and any given day, you'll find gas anywhere from $5 to $6. When in some states, gas is as low as $1.89, the president reported the other day in Iowa. And Gavin Newsom has the guts to stand up there to criticize the president on gas prices when he's not doing anything about the high cost of gas in California. And here we have a video outlining why gas is so expensive in California. Take a look.
We also have taxes here in California that other states don't have, and we have them at a higher rate. So again, that will increase the price. And I believe right now we are the most expensive gas in the nation, although sometimes we go back and forth with Hawaii because Hawaii has to have it all shipped in.
And Johnson went on to explain that California has stricter regulations for gas than those at a federal level, so our gas has to burn cleaner. We're transitioning out of the winter blend, which is cheaper.
If I was Gavin Newsom, I wouldn't be sitting up there trying to criticize the president on gas prices when California has some of the highest prices throughout the entire nation. It is ridiculous. And let us move on to the next thing that Gavin Newsom tried to criticize the president on, which is tax cuts and affordability. Take a look.
Funded war as he's cutting food stamps because he says he can't find money, as he's cutting taxes to the most well-heeled and well-off. They didn't even ask for those tax cuts, as he's cutting Medicaid programs. And people are struggling with affordability. After he quite literally doubles down on stupid, meaning the existing policies of this administration at the State of the Union, offering no new strategies and no pivot from an economy that's slowing down with the worst job growth since 2013, inflation that is now going back up. The only saving grace was gas prices, and now they're spiking up. The markets are down. Crypto has collapsed.
My question is there someone advising Gavin Newsom in regards to public relations? Because there's no way you can stand up there and criticize the president in regards to affordability when California is one of the most unaffordable states in the entire U.S. Remember, California is one of the states that tax people the most, tax people, hardworking people, and take that money and give to illegal aliens. And here's Gavin Newsom actually talking about giving healthcare to everyone, including illegal aliens who just got to this country. Take a look.
Do you think that your party went too far, or that you went too far? And I think, for instance, in extending Medi-Cal to the California healthcare program to undocumented immigrants. Like, do you?
Well, two different
I guess on the big picture and the small picture, do you feel like you went too far?
Two different questions. Do I believe in universal health care? Yes, regardless of pre-existing conditions, ability to pay, and your status. I campaigned on that, and we delivered on that. And I'm proud of that. We're one of 16 states to provide care to people regardless of their immigration status.
So the reason why I wanted to show you that clip is the hypocrisy of Gavin Newsom. Because what he does, and the rest of the Democrats in California, they tax people. They tax regular Californians. They take that money. They give that money to illegal aliens that just comes into this country. That is why it's so unaffordable to live in California. That is why people cannot fill up their gas tank because gas is too expensive. That is why they cannot buy food at grocery stores because it's so damn expensive. And Gavin Newsom want to sit there and lecture the American people about affordability. It just doesn't make sense. And here we have Gavin Newsom spreading more lies, saying that the U.S. is deliberately targeting schools in Iran. Take a look.
We have to reconcile why our bombs were used, or Israeli bombs were used, to kill children, young girls at a school, and what the imminent threat was. It hasn't been described.
And there you go. Gavin Newsom spreading lies, saying that the U.S. is deliberately targeting schools in Iran. And this reporting came straight out of Iran from the government, the same government that we're at war with. No other news source has been able to independently verify this. And Gavin Newsom is spilling this lie. And here we have Marco Rubio on this alleged bombing of this school. Take a look.
Well, clearly, the United States would not deliberately target a school. Our objectives are missiles, both the ability to manufacture them and the ability to launch them, and the one-way attract drones. That would be our focus, and that's what we would be focused on. We would have no interest and, frankly, no incentive to target civilian infrastructure. The Iranians are, on the other hand, targeting civilian infrastructure. You guys have seen it. I'm sure you've seen it. They're hitting hotels. They're hitting embassies. They're hitting airports. They're hitting oil infrastructure. Well, it'd be very tragic, but I can't speak to the details behind it because I just don't have it. It would be a tragic outcome if it's happened. I don't have the details as to what led to it. But what is clear is that the United States would not deliberately target a school. They are, on the other hand, deliberately targeting civilians, as you've seen, because you know why? They are a terroristic regime. They sponsor terrorism and they participate in terrorism.
And there you go. That was Secretary of State Marco Rubio on this alleged targeting of schools. We'll wait and we'll see what the facts are, because the facts will actually come out. And that brings us to the end of today's show. Please let me know what you think in the comment section in regards to Gavin Newsom spilling all these lies. Also, thank you for watching all the way to the end. If you don't mind, please consider liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. I'll see you in the next one.